In a shocking twist, Anna Duggar's potential divorce from her husband Josh. Duggar has stunned fans and sparked conversations around the Duggar family's staunch views on marriage for years. Divorce was seen as unimaginable in their strict faith-based family, where marriage was viewed as a sacred lifelong commitment. But now, with Anna reportedly seeking legal separation, the question arises, could the Duggar family's traditional values finally be shifting? Could this really be happening? Some fans have asked Anna, who always stood by Jay, is now talking about divorce. Is this the beginning of a new chapter for the Duggars? Anna's decision has been influenced by years of public scandal surrounding Josh's actions, and sources suggest that her own family is encouraging her to prioritize her well-being and that of her children. "I never thought I would find myself in this position," Anna reportedly said, highlighting the internal struggle between faith and personal happiness. Fans and critics alike are now asking, can someone so rooted in these beliefs really walk away from what they've always been taught? It seems Anna's journey might be a turning point for the family, revealing that even within the most tightly held traditions, change can sometimes become inevitable. Stay tuned as the Duggar family faces this defining moment, and as Anna's decision challenges not only her marriage, but also the very foundation of the values they've always held for years. The Duggar family has maintained a strict perspective on marriage, firmly believing in its lifelong commitment as a divine covenant rooted in conservative Christian values. Divorce has always been frowned upon in their circle, and public separation has been nearly unthinkable. However, recent developments indicate a potential shift in this long-standing ideology, particularly with Anna Duggar reportedly taking legal steps to divorce her husband Josh Duggar. Anna's decision marks a significant deviation from the values she was raised with, and it comes after enduring years of scandal and public scrutiny surrounding her husband Josh. Duggar's numerous legal and moral transgressions placed their marriage under intense pressure, leading to speculation on whether Anna would ever choose to leave. For a long time, she upheld the belief that marriage should be preserved at all costs, remaining by Josh's side even as his actions became indefensible. But according to sources close to her, the weight of the situation and growing pressure from her own parents ultimately influenced her to seek separation. While the Duggar family has long promoted courtship as a faith-based and emotionally grounded approach to relationships, it is clear that Anna has been grappling with the reality of her circumstances within the Duggar worldview. Marriage is not just a partnership between two individuals, but a binding agreement before God. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have historically emphasized that divorce is never an option, regardless of the struggles a couple may endure. This unwavering stance has defined their family's public image, shaping the expectations placed upon their children and their spouses. Yet, Anna's personal ordeal is more complex than just a marriage in distress. Over the years, she has faced mounting public scrutiny, personal heartbreak, and an overwhelming sense of duty to uphold the values she was raised with. The repeated revelations of Josh's wrongdoing, culminating in serious criminal charges, have left many questioning how long she could continue to stand by him. It appears that her own parents, who come from a similarly religious background, ultimately encouraged her to leave the marriage, arguing that her well-being and that of her children should take precedence over rigid doctrinal adherence. "I never thought I would find myself in this position," Anna reportedly confided to a close friend. "I prayed for change, I hoped for redemption, but at some point I had to accept that staying was no longer an option." Her words reflect the weight of her decision. For someone raised in a belief system where divorce is rarely discussed, taking this step signifies an internal struggle between faith, personal well-being, and the harsh realities of her situation. The shifting dynamic within the Duggar family is not entirely new. Jill Dillard and Jinger Duggar, two of the more independent members of the family, have previously spoken about the difficulties of growing up under their parents' rigid belief system. Jill, in particular, has been open about her journey towards self-discovery, as well as the emotional and psychological challenges of breaking away from the expectations placed upon her. Her willingness to challenge the status quo may have had an indirect influence on Anna, offering an example of how one can redefine their life while maintaining their faith. Similarly, Jinger has distanced herself from the basic life principles of the organization that heavily influenced the Duggar family's views. In her book, she candidly discusses the challenges of unlearning deeply ingrained doctrines and embracing a more individualized approach to faith and marriage. By publicly rejecting certain extreme teachings, she has demonstrated that questioning long-held beliefs does not equate to abandoning one's values entirely. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have not publicly commented on Anna's decision, but their silence has been telling given their firm stance against divorce. Their reaction to this development is likely one of disappointment and disapproval. However, even within conservative Christian communities, perspectives on marriage and divorce are evolving. While previous generations have upheld unwavering commitment as the highest virtue, younger individuals are increasingly recognizing that some relationships may be too broken to mend. Despite the Duggar family's public resistance to the idea of divorce, it is not an entirely foreign concept within their extended social circle. Several associates and in-laws have quietly navigated separations, prompting discussions on whether such rigid views on marriage are truly sustainable in the modern world. The reality is that even in devoutly religious communities, life circumstances often necessitate difficult choices that challenge deep-seated beliefs in a past. Interview. Michelle Duggar once stated, "Marriage is about sacrifice and putting the other person first. There will be challenges, but we must remain faithful and work through them with prayer." While this sentiment aligns with the values she has always championed, it not fully address situations where one partner has betrayed the trust and safety of the other. Anna Duggar's decision raises important questions about faith, personal agency, and the ability to redefine one's life in the face of hardship. Some will view her choice as necessary for healing, while others may see it as a departure from biblical principles. Regardless of the perspective one holds, it is evident that Anna is prioritizing her future and the well-being of her children. The Duggar family, once a stronghold of traditional values, now finds itself at a pivotal moment as more members begin to question the restrictive beliefs they were raised with. The future of their legacy remains uncertain. Will the next generation continue to adhere to the same ideals, or will they embrace a more modern approach to relationships and personal fulfillment? One thing is clear: the choices made now will shape the Duggar family's path for years to come. The Duggars, a family known for their reality TV show 19 Kids and Counting, have been in the public eye for many years. Their personal lives have been a focal point for both fans and critics, particularly due to their unique beliefs surrounding marriage, relationships, and family life. Recently, however, a major shift in the Duggar family has captured the attention of the public: the divorce of one of the key family members. This has stirred a great deal of speculation, rumor, and media coverage. To understand what really happened and what it signifies for the Duggar family, we need to separate fact from fiction and understand the deeper views on marriage that have been a hallmark of the Duggar family's philosophy. The public image of the Duggars. The Duggar family rose to fame thanks to their reality show, which depicted their daily lives and showcased their deep religious values, including their views on courtship, marriage, and family, their strict adherence to conservative Christian teachings, and their emphasis on modesty, purity, and traditional gender roles were presented as part of their public persona. These beliefs often led to controversial moments, particularly when discussing marriage, sexuality, and the role of women in society. One of the core beliefs held by the Duggars, especially Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar, is that marriage is a sacred covenant, a union between one man and one woman, and that divorce is to be avoided at all costs. This ideal was instilled in their children from a young age, and many of them, including the older Duggar children, fell suit with some, opting for arranged courtships rather than traditional dating. The divorce shocker, despite the family's unwavering stance on marriage. Recent events have made headlines when one of the Duggar children announced their divorce. This unexpected turn of events raised eyebrows, particularly among fans who are familiar with the Duggar public world of reality TV. Family's divorce is often seen as a dramatic and divisive event, but in this case, it seemed to challenge the very principles the Duggars had long upheld. The individual involved has remained relatively private about the reasons for their divorce. However, in an interview following the separation, they spoke candidly about the difficulties they faced in their marriage, revealing that not all of the family's teachings have prepared them for the complexities of a real-world relationship. This honesty has been both praised and criticized, as it presents a stark contrast to the image of marital bliss and spiritual righteousness that the Duggars had previously cultivated. As the public learned more about the situation, many began questioning whether the Duggar family's teachings on marriage were too rigid or unrealistic. It became clear that even within the family, there were differences in how they viewed marriage and relationships. For some, the pressure to maintain a perfect image was overwhelming, while others felt that the separation was simply a necessary step in order to find personal happiness and fulfillment. Exploring the Duggars' views on marriage for the Duggar family has always been seen as a sacred and lifelong commitment. Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar have frequently spoken about their own marriage as an example of what they consider to be the ideal relationship. They have emphasized that marriage requires hard work, faith, and submission to God's will. The concept of unconditional love has been a recurring theme in their messages about marriage. For them, marriage is not just about love, but about a duty to God, family, and the larger community. However, the reality of marriage is often far more complicated than the Duggars' idealized portrayal. Despite their public statements about the sanctity of marriage, it is important to recognize that no one, regardless of their background or religious beliefs, is immune to the challenges and difficulties that come with long-term relationships. The breakdown of a marriage, even in a family that places such a high value on commitment, raises important questions about the expectations placed on individuals in such marriages and the pressure to live up to a public image. The impact of divorce on the Duggar family. The announcement of the divorce has had a ripple effect across the Duggar family. Some family members have publicly expressed support for the individual going through the separation, while others have been more cautious, adhering to the family's public stance on marriage. The incident has revealed a divide within the family. Some are more willing to acknowledge the complexities of marriage, while others still hold to the traditional views that have been passed down through the generations. This shift in perspective also comes at a time when the public image has already been under scrutiny due to past controversies. The family has faced significant challenges in recent years, including allegations of misconduct within the family and the ongoing fallout from previous scandals. As a result, the divorce has added to the ongoing narrative surrounding the Duggars, creating a moment of reflection for both the family and their supporters. For those who have followed the Duggars closely, the divorce raises important questions about the role of faith and religion in shaping marital expectations. While the family has long promoted the idea that marriage is a divine institution, the reality is that not every marriage will be successful or end in a fairy tale ending. The Duggar experience underscores the complexities of marriage and the need for open communication, personal growth, and mutual respect, something that is often difficult to navigate in the public eye. What this means for the Duggars moving forward. The divorce has sparked a broad conversation about the expectations placed on individuals when it comes to marriage and family life. For the Duggar family, it may mark a turning point in how they approach these issues in the future. While they have long promoted a strict, idealized version of marriage, it seems that the realities of life may finally be forcing a reevaluation of what a healthy relationship truly looks like. As for the individual involved in the divorce, it is likely that they will continue to navigate the challenges of public life and personal growth in the years to come. While divorce is still considered taboo in many religious communities, the Duggar experience highlights the importance of addressing personal happiness and well-being even when it goes against the grain of cultural expectations. The Duggar divorce serves as a reminder that marriage, like any other relationship, requires effort, compromise, and a willingness to adapt. While the family's public image may never be the same, it is possible that this experience will lead to a more nuanced understanding of love, commitment, and the complexities of family life, something that will likely resonate with many of their followers and viewers. The story of the Duggars and their evolving views on marriage has sparked a wider conversation about the pressures of public life, the expectations placed on families, and the reality of relationships in a world that often demands perfection. While we may never know all the details surrounding the divorce, it's clear that the Duggars are confronting the realities of marriage in a way that challenges the idealized version they once promoted. As this story continues to unfold, it's important for us to remember that every family, no matter how famous or seemingly perfect, faces struggles and difficulties the Duggar families experience. While public is not all that different from many others who face the difficult decision of whether to continue or end a marriage, ultimately it serves as a reminder that marriage is not just a public declaration, but a deeply personal journey that requires honesty, trust, and an understanding that things don't always go as planned. This shift in the Duggar fame's narrative raises important questions about the pressures of living up to a public image and what it means to build a lasting, healthy marriage. It's a story that reminds us all of the complexities of relationships and the importance of finding fulfillment, happiness, and personal growth no matter where we are in life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for the next video. Take care and love all. From the series Duggar Family News, Jana Mary Duggar, related, for you, recently uploaded, watched.